Hi there, I'm Mike. What I have for you today is Star Wars The Black Series Galaxy's Edge exclusive Droid Depot. I say Galaxy's Edge exclusive, but these are actually exclusive to anywhere at Disneyland. I haven't heard of anyone finding it at Disney World, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But Galaxy's Edge just opened up at Disneyland. Now, you don't have to go to the park to find these if you don't want to. At Downtown Disney, there is a World of Disney store. They have these there. They do have them at pretty much any gift shop in the park, from what I've heard, or even in some hotel rooms, at gift shops and hotel rooms. So you can pretty much find these anywhere as long as you go to Disneyland. Obviously, if you don't live in Southern California, that might be kind of hard to do. So I thought I would kind of give you guys a little rundown of what you get. Now, I got this from my friend the B-Boy Fett. You can follow him on Instagram. You might have heard of him if you tried to get Jabba's sail barge from yakface.com and Dorkside Toys. He's actually the winner of that. Just a fun little fact. I met him when we were waiting for the midnight release of one of the Star Wars Force Fridays at Toys R Us. It was a lot of fun. He's a cool guy. He was there on opening day or the day after opening day. So this is what we get in the box. This is the front of the box here. You can see we've got BB-8, R2-D2, C-3PO, and DJ R3X. There's a nice Black Series style artwork on the front. On the side, this is hard to do because it's like right there. We have the Droid Depot logo right there, and then there's some Aerobesh on the bottom. It's just really hard to get this on my camera because the box is so long. On the back, we have some bios here. Now, the bios aren't super different from what we know. We get C-3PO, R2-D2, BB-8, and then the DJ R3X. Also, these retail for $69.99, which is something that I'm actually pretty surprised about. I was fully expecting these to go for $80, if not $90, because of that Disney Premium. So having them go for $69.99 is pretty good, especially because we've gotten 3 of these before, and one of them isn't really a character you would get on its own. It's sort of an accessory. BB-8 was originally included as an accessory for Rey, so selling him on his own and charging him $20 for this figure would kind of suck. So I'm glad that we're really only paying $70. But again, if you have a annual pass, I think you got 20% off this price. So I got these for about $55, which is a good deal. I'm glad I got this. The reason I'm doing this video a little bit different from my normal reviews is I'm not really doing a review here. I'm going to do a comparison because 3 of these figures we've gotten before, and then there's a new one. So what I might do here is review the new one separately as an actual review, but right now I'm just kind of going over the box in general. And on the top of this box is the 77 Droid Depot there. I'm sure that's not really a 7. I'm sure it's Aerobesh or something, but I wanted to give that out. And then on this side, we have a little bit of a kind of a list of what is in there. Kind of a standard Black Series. And then if we open this up, it's got a nice little Velcro on the sides. This is what's inside here. Throughout the galaxy, droids are programmed for a variety of tasks. Astromechs like R2-D2 and BB-8 are mechanical masters loyal to the pilots of their ships, who are leaders in the Resistance, while C-3PO is a protocol droid and expert in etiquette and translations. Then there's DJ R3X, a uniquely designed droid whose skills lie in mixing cantina playlists on the planet of Batuu. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this open here. I'm just going to give this a little slice. You can get my hand right in the middle. There we go. It opens up the top. And then there's just the tray inside like this. And I'm going to pull this off to the side. So here we have the figures in their tray. I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. There's no ties or anything keeping them in. So here we have them out of their packaging, and I'm just going to go from left to right, starting with C-3PO here. I have the original C-3POs released so far to kind of compare this to. I don't want to give it a full-on review because, well, frankly, I've never actually reviewed 3PO before, but I want to give everyone kind of a close-up of what this looks like here. I know what they said they did initially was they changed the sculpting of the legs, and obviously he's got the new elbow joints that the original one had. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull these 3 away, and I'm going to put 3PO with the other 2 that have been released. But I basically just want to do kind of a full-on comparison because I'm sure what really will get people to either buy this or not is how different are these figures going to be? Is it worth buying? Taking a look at these, this is the Walgreens exclusive / I think they released it for the 40th anniversary. And this is actually the first 3PO release. This is the Resistance one with the red arm, and they actually are pretty subtly different here, mostly down in the wiring on their midsection. The wiring here matches a lot better. Yeah, I would definitely say that the thighs on this 3PO, there's also a different shade to the gold. This gold is a lot more, it's a lot lighter. Like, this is a darker kind of gold. This is a lighter gold. Again, I'm colorblind, so if I'm completely wrong, you guys can comment on that, but that's what it looks to me. Obviously, he's got an all gold leg instead of his silver leg like he had here in the original trilogy, and that's fine, but there are a couple of subtle differences here. Number one, his hands. He's actually sculpted to hold things, although he does not come with any accessories whatsoever, but he does have the same elbow joint that 4LOM has, so that gives him some movement. Oh, it looks like they also gave him a proper upper bicep swivel. So it's not just this, but they also gave him an upper bicep swivel right here. He definitely has better arms, especially like right there. The eyes here look way different. This is the new one, and this is the old one here. This looks more like a translucent kind of covering over it, whereas these look just kind of painted in there. So the eyes look a lot better here. And this might just be me, but the mouth looks darker inside to give it kind of the illusion of there actually being kind of a mouth there. I think for the most part, they're roughly the same. And if you have these two, he might not be worth buying by himself. Woo! There we go, just knocking all kinds of droids over. If you don't have a 3PO, or you want to maybe customize your older 3POs into maybe a K3PO or something like that, or a TC14 like Stigma Custom Collectibles kind of made for me, it's a good 3PO. I definitely think it's better than either of these two 3POs here. So he's the superior, they keep falling over. He's the superior 3PO so far. Under 3PO, for his bio, it says, a fastidious and worry-prone protocol droid, C-3PO longs for more peaceful times, but his continued service to the Resistance keeps him in the front line of galactic conflict. Yeah, this is 100% the superior protocol droid. If your 3PO is really a disappointment to you, I think that the one in this box is definitely the superior droid here. Next in the lineup, we have R2-D2. As far as I can tell, every R2 unit they've ever released has been the exact same. No improvements, no differences. They have little opening slots here for these little hands to come out. This one has a little kind of jack. And I will say that these doors worked fine on my original R2, which I'm about to pull out in a sec, but they never really work on any of the release ones. He also has removable side pieces right here, because the original R2-D2 came with rockets to kind of go where you could replace these with the rocket packs to have them fly. Every astromech droid has always had these removable, maybe because you could also customize them a little bit. You could put different colors on around there. And then again, these little tops have been able to come off because the original R2 had little replacement units to go on the top, like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and a little periscope thing. But that's the only R2 that really ever came with. Actually, that's not true. I think the R2 units that came with the first 3-pack of droids came with them as well. None of them have come with as many things as the original R2 here. And you can turn his head to lower his third leg there. You can angle this so you can kind of put it like this if you want to. This R2 is too short. I think that's been the problem with R2 for a while here. I'm going to read R2's bio here. R2-D2 is a plucky and loyal astromech droid that aids the Resistance in their conflict against the First Order and takes part in many of the momentous events in the galaxy. Or as they like to say in the prequels, he is an extremely well put together little droid. He's got wheels on the bottom so you can roll him. But that's pretty much it. He's not any different as far as I can tell. I always prefer R2 like this personally. I don't really know why. Here I have the original R2 that came in the very first wave of Star Wars Black Series figures. And as far as I can tell, he's mostly the same with the difference of some scuffing, which just makes him look more like R2 did in the movies, honestly. Other than that, also you can see the original, like I said, the original doors here stay closed a lot better, whereas there's a visible seam here where the door doesn't quite match up. That's been a problem with every droid but the original R2 here. That's just been an issue. And then I have the R2-D2 that came with the newer droid 3-pack. He's kind of poopy. a little bit here so you can kind of see him. So again, this is good if you don't have an R2, but if you do, as far as I can tell, other than the paint job, I now have 3 R2-D2s, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them other than the fact that I have 3 R2-D2s. They're not different enough for me to really warrant owning 3, but I kind of do now. The molding is completely the same as far as I can tell. The paint here, he's missing his little blue paint down here. That's it. That's the only difference, is he doesn't have his he doesn't have that blue around him right there. I always like this one. This is more like a Dagobah kind of R2. I like that. Like, again, if you don't have this, other than the fact that this comes with a ton of accessories, and this one doesn't come with any accessories, and other than the fact that the doors here don't close properly, I kind of like the wear and tear they put on this R2 over this one. If you want the C-3PO and you don't have an R2 as well, this is not bad, but if you have the other 2 R2s here, it's not worth buying it just for this R2 by any means. BB-8 he's my least favorite droid, not because I don't like BB-8. I think BB-8's adorable in the movies, but in terms of how they made him, he's basically just a counterweight. To get him to stand up properly, you have to bend it. Now you can see there's a little gap in there, because if I put him straight over the hole, he kind of tips forward. He's like a weeble wobble. So I've never really liked BB-8 as a toy, because it's really hard to get him to stand. It's cool what they tried to do, because he is just a ball, and it's nice that you can counterweight it. So if the shelf you're putting him on isn't perfectly level, he won't roll off. Let me read his bio real quick. Let me get him to stand up properly. And again, that can be hard. A skittish but loyal astromech, BB-8 accompanied Poe Dameron on many missions for the Resistance, helping keep his X-Wing in working order. Now, BB-8's been released before in the Black Series line. He came with Rey, as I mentioned earlier. This is the BB-8, the new one. This is the old one, and you can see there are some smears that this one doesn't have. Now, this is actually the second release. The original BB-8 didn't have a lot of the panel lining and things like this that this one had. So I actually bought the new one and returned the old one, because they're basically the same, other than the fact that this one I find to be a superior paint job. He's fine. This is definitely not the reason you buy it, but if for some reason you've never bought a Rey figure to have a BB-8, I mean, it's nice having him in there, but I don't need another BB-8. Like, you only need the one, really. He's only ever looked the one time, and he doesn't come with anything. He doesn't have any removable panels or anything. He's just a BB-8. Nothing to write home about. This is easily the worst part of the box, just because, like, oh boy, another BB-8. All right, and lastly, the real reason I bought this entire box was for R3X here. I love this droid because this is canonically the same droid that was originally the pilot on Star Tours. The one that was still getting used to his programming before they shut it down and kind of redid it. So let me read you the story here real quick. RX-24, more commonly known as Rex, has given up the pilot's life and has reimagined himself as DJ R3X. Behind his DJ table, he spins and plays upbeat music as he watches over the crowd of the cantina. So I absolutely love that they just kind of made this guy the exact same droid that was originally the pilot for Star Tours back in the day. He's got one movable joint right here that kind of swivels around. He's got a movable joint up here. So basically he can spin around very drastically. And then this one doesn't move at all, but the top two move. His head here does move up and down, and his headphones do move kind of back and forth. This doesn't move as far as I can tell, but the original animatronic, this moved. This does move up and down, and it does spin all the way around. This arm has two joints, one right here and one right here. And I'm kind of just figuring this out myself. I've never opened this before. You're seeing this real time. So if I miss anything and you guys have it, let me know. But this spins around and this does open. The only thing that this doesn't do that I wish it did was kind of move out. This only moves up and down like this. These move out, swivel around, so you can have it kind of go around like this. His arm moves similarly this way that this one does right here, where it opens and then it kind of swivels around. But it doesn't have any movement on an elbow joint or anything. This one has a single elbow joint. Nope, it's got a shoulder joint and an elbow joint right here. This also spins, and then it does not really open or close, and that's fine. But it does move on a hinge like this. And then the whole base kind of swivels down here. if you haven't experienced Star Tours or you haven't really been to the new Galaxy's Edge yet, you probably don't care about this. But this alone for me was worth the whole box because, again, I grew up, my first trip to Disneyland was when I was in middle school in the 90s. I loved the original Star Tours. I went on it so many times. So when they replaced this guy with C-3PO, I was actually pretty sad. I mean, not that C-3PO is a bad pilot. I mean, he is. And I do like the new Star Tours, but that original Star Tours is just nostalgic for me. So I love the fact that they took this droid, repurposed him into Galaxy's Edge, but they made him the same droid. He's still the same droid. He did pilot Star Tours, the Star Speeder 3000 or whatever, but now since he lost his job doing that, they made him a DJ, and I like that. It's always fun to have more droids in your collection, and he's a unique looking droid, so I like this a lot. This is the 4-pack. If you don't have any C-3PO or R2 or BB-8 in your collection, this is an easy buy. But if you do, and you don't really care about getting a slightly better C-3PO or a slightly different weathered R2 or a slightly differently weathered BB-8, it's probably not worth it. Unless you just, like me, you really like the Captain Rex here, which is not the same Captain Rex. I always call him Captain Rex because that's how I knew him at Star Tours. If you don't have the same love for him or nostalgia, you could probably skip this pack. C-3PO is better. The Captain Rex is cool, but another R2 we don't really need. You only need so many R2s, and another BB-8, especially one that's basically the exact same. You just really don't need most of these unless you just don't have them. But I mean, again, I'm happy with it because Rex is cool. For getting this for $50, getting 4 droids for $50 for me was worth it. If I had got it for $70, I probably wouldn't think it's as worth it. Other than, I'm a completionist, so I love to buy them. Having a new C-3PO mold and having the Rex is completely worth it for that reason alone for me as well. But yeah, you could probably skip this one unless you just really want some more droids in your collection and you don't have some of them. I know a lot of people that got into the game late maybe not be able to find a C-3PO or an R2, and maybe you haven't bought a Rey yet. I don't know. Again, that's up to you. I would give this whole pack probably, I don't have any official scoring. I'm going gut reaction on this. I'm giving this pack a 2.5 out of 5. The new C-3PO is pretty cool. The Rex is pretty cool. Those get a point. And then it gets a half point for the R2 and then no points for the BB-8. So yeah, 2.5 out of 5 is what I'm rating this box. It's easily skippable if you don't care about any of this stuff. And that's it for my kind of unboxing and initial thoughts on the Droid Depot 4-pack. I want to say 3-pack, but it's a 4-pack, even though one of these characters is clearly just an accessory. That's kind of true for the other 2 as well, but we'll get into those for sure. But thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments. Did you get this? Do you care about getting this? Did I convince you to or not to get this? Let me know. I love to read and respond. There's also a bunch of different ways you can support my channel down in the downstairs area, such as sending me things to my P.O. box, subscribing to Loot Crate. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's all good. But thanks for watching. I really mean it. And I'll see you later. Bye.